In today's world, the demand for QA testers is higher than ever. However, many people that I speak to, they tell me how they're struggling to find their first QA software testing job. So what's the deal? If the job is in such high demand, why are people struggling to find jobs? Is it the economy? Is it companies? Is it the people themselves? Let's break it down and address it and give possible solutions to overcome some of these problems. Let's start with the most obvious one: unrealistic salary expectations. Every week, I get an email about somebody saying they're struggling to find a job. And I say, okay, cool. What type of jobs are you applying for? What are the salary ranges? And then they would tell me they apply for jobs in the 80, 90, and 100K range. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. There's your problem. Realistically, if you're entry level, meaning you have no real actual experience, trying to land a job for 80, 90, or above that, it's kind of unrealistic. Can it happen? Yeah, maybe to a select few, but you trying to hold out for this special, magical, high-paying first job, it's gonna cost you more money. When you're just starting out, focus on developing your skill set. Take that 50 or 60K job, because the hardest part is getting your foot in the door. Once your foot is in the door, from there, develop your skill set, become more marketable. Once you have a larger skill set and you're more marketable, you can demand more money. So at first, just focus on getting your foot in the door. Maybe that initial salary won't be that magic number that you expected, but that's okay. Because for some reason, people have been lying to you guys about making six figures and other magic numbers. As an entry-level person, it's not gonna happen. I hate to burst your bubble. So, what can you expect? Go to Glassdoor, other popular websites. Filter for QA jobs. Put experience, 0 to 1 years. And then type in your location. If you live in Atlanta, Georgia, say QA jobs, entry level for Atlanta, Georgia. And you can see a range for entry-level jobs where you live at. That way, you know what to expect and set your price at. Because I can't say, oh, wait for this magic number when I live in a high-cost living place. Comparing a New York starting salary compared to a low-cost living place, two different ballparks. So focus on where you live at, the cost of living, and the average salary there. And then just get your foot in the door. The big money will come later down the road, but for right now, just get your first job in the field. Increased job competitiveness. 3, 4, 5 years ago, nobody knew what QA software testing was, especially if you were based in the US. But in the last 2, 3 years, it's become a lot more popular. And because it's the easiest way to get into tech, everybody's starting to flood in to the QA space. And because of that, it's becoming more competitive. That means before, maybe 5 years ago, you're only competing against 5 other people for this position. In today's world, you're competing against 20 or 30 different people. And this is also why that first salary might be a little lower, because if your salary requirement is 70K, but somebody else with the exact same skill set says they can work for 60K, who are they gonna hire? That 60K person, especially for entry-level jobs. So don't price yourself out of the market, especially in the beginning. So what can you do to combat this competitiveness? First off, don't get discouraged. Second, work on your skill set. Everybody has the basic core fundamental testing skill set. So how can you stand out? Learn about back-end testing. If currently you're just a manual or human tester, start learning about coding and other aspects. Learn about using different tools and pieces of software. The more you have in your resume, the more marketable you are. When they're deciding between person A, who just knows how to use Jira and basic testing, person B can use Jira and TestRail. They played with Postman. Who are they going to choose? Person B. They have more skills, the more marketable, the more valuable. So the focus here is developing your skill set. Don't rely on the bare minimum. Quick break. If you're enjoying this video so far, please leave a like and subscribe. If you need help on your software testing journey, check out my website, thetestinglead.com. Now, back to the video. And piggybacking on this, the need for higher requirements. As some of you are noticing, a lot more jobs are asking for automation. Don't let that stop you. Just do what they ask and learn automation. No, it won't happen overnight, but start today. If you start today, maybe by end of the month, you can understand the basics of Python and coding. From there, find an automation tool, Selenium or Cypress, and practice just using the tools. Become comfortable with it, and then add that to your resume. Once again, the more skill sets and tools you have in your resume, the more marketable you are. Doing the bare minimum won't cut it anymore. Lack of soft skills. Right after the technical expertise needed for jobs comes the soft skills, which are often overlooked. I've met many people who are bright, but they lack soft skills. The thing is, when you're a software tester, you're part of a team. You're not working by yourself in a corner. No, you're part of a team. You're interacting with developers, product managers, team leads, and other testers. So you need soft skills. And for people who have no idea what soft skills are, the hard skills are the technical skills. Can you use certain tools and technologies? The soft skills is more about who you are and your personality. Are you a good communicator? Are you a good team player? Make sure your soft skills are up to par. So if you're a good leader, stress that. Talk about it in your interview. If you're a good team player, communicator, any other soft skills, make sure you emphasize it in interviews. Because at a certain point, everybody can write test cases, do automation, and all the basic hard skills. How they choose who they hire from person A to person B is they think who's going to be a better team fit for their company, who's going to mesh well and get along with all the other team members, who's going to be a positive person to be around versus a negative person dragging the team down. All those little things related to your soft skills are very important in the workspace. Imagine every day your coworker is sad or mad or angry or just unapproachable. That makes for an unenjoyable work experience. Now, indirectly, I'm going to start hating going to work because I'm interacting with them, which is why your soft skills matter a lot. I can make a whole video about soft skills, but I'm going to stop here for now. Last but not least, limited networking opportunities. Candidates who neglect building a professional QA network can be missing out on a lot of opportunities. So, how can you solve this? Try to come immersed in a QA space. Make sure you have your LinkedIn profile up to date. have QA, software testing, all that good stuff on your profile. That's step one. Step two, find other people in this space. Because today, a lot of people get jobs from who they know, not based off of what they know. They may have friends or other coworkers who know about a job opening and suggest and refer them for that opening. So by default, the more friends you have, the more people you know, the more possible opportunities you can have in this workspace. Because I know a lot of you guys have TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, other social media profiles, but don't have the most important one, LinkedIn. I've never seen people get jobs off of Instagram or TikTok, but LinkedIn can definitely connect you to a software testing job. So that should be your priority daily. Let me log on to LinkedIn. Let me see what new jobs are out. Okay, what are these new jobs asking for? Oh, these tools, perfect. I did my job search for the day. Now let me join these QA groups on LinkedIn because they have groups for manual QA testers, automation people, coding, everything else. Join these groups. They're free. And then talk to other people in the space. Hear about their journey, their suggestions, and so on. And just build these genuine connections. I know some people right now have been searching for not months, but years to land their first QA software testing job. Don't lose hope. First, try to take a step back and reflect on some of the problems or hurdles you're not addressing. Like what I covered today. Maybe it's your salary requirements. Maybe it's your skill set. Sit down, have a one-on-one with yourself, and be real. Next, start making changes. Say, okay, I'm going to learn about these tools. I'm going to be realistic and only expect a $50K or $40K first salary, knowing that once I'm in the field, I can find better paying jobs later on. But for right now, I'll get my first job, develop my skill set, and work from there. And most importantly, it's a journey. Don't get discouraged. At a certain point, hearing no or rejection from a company should not bother you anymore. It should be okay. I got 5 more no's. Okay, my goal is to get 10 no's today. So I'm going to keep applying until I get at least 10 no's and kind of gamify it. Make it into a joke or a game where you're trying to just apply to more jobs. And then when you get an interview, you say, okay, what can I learn from this interview? It went well, didn't go well. What can I move forward in the next interview? That way the next one goes even better. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them below. And most importantly, don't forget this. Learn something new today.